every time I give a Leo a chance, I have a problem. Literally,
I really haven't asked, so yeah, Well,
that's
usually
why
you don't really have to ask.
That's why you live in the way you live in, Mitch, because you don't ask. I get it.
Fuck
This is bliss.
Fuck y'all. Damn, now I gotta go think on shit. Don't I have enough shit to psychologically torture myself with?
Mitch is like,
damn, so the reason shit didn't work out is because I didn't even try to be compatible in the first place.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Fuck y'all, man. I know exactly what you were saying. I don't fucking... Anyway, man, I don't like this topic. Fuck this shit. Let's move on. No.
Mitch is out here going out with Libras and shit. Like, just like mad incompatible. It's just like, you a Sagittarius? Oh shit! Like just.
I try not to let the stars dictate. Okay, I know they have their effects, but I try to just, I'll make it work.
Mitch, how are you a witch and not asking people what their star sign is?
Because that's the type of witch that I am.
That's weird. Like you got crystals and shit. And like,
bro, I'm not like I'm not like an 18-year-old white woman. You know what I'm saying? Like
18-year-old white woman.
I'm playing. But yeah, bro. I know. Ain't it funny?
That's crazy.
But my astrology is a little rough right now. Anyway, I need to go do a little quick refresher.
So you don't really know anything about astrology?
No, I know a lot about astrology. It's just I don't normally ask people their sign. Other than the fact that I feel it's one really, really cliche, if we're being honest. We do have to be honest.
Why?
And recognize how cliche that... I can't believe you just said why. I need you to agree to the fact that it's a cliche first.
Why do we have to be honest, or why is it a cliche?
No, Logan, yeah. Logan's like, why is it a cliche? I'm like, are you serious, bro? I mean, it's in a Biggie song, bro. For God's sake. when you creep up with that song, what's your name? What's your line? I just come in behind, ask you what your interests are, who you be with, because that's the nigga I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be like Biggie, not the nigga who crept up like, oh, what's your name? What's your sign with the cheap ass line. We Biggie trying to get to the interest.
Then I'm
tell me what your interests are.
He's talking about, who you because I'm always asking what the sign is. I'm like, yo, what's up with you?
I didn't even realize you were that. I didn't realize you were that strong of a believer in astrology. Because if you would legitimately do that every time, you are legitimate. You're a legitimate believer.
Listen, the personality aspect. I don't read horoscopes and shit, but like the personality aspect, I believe in that shit. Like I feel like there's something to it. Like
I do as well, but I'm still not asking people.
There's something to like being born in a certain part of the universe at a certain time while the sun's radiation is on you in a certain way. I believe that. Like I get it. Like I feel like there's like forces at work in your making. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like that makes sense to me. That part makes sense to me. Like the horoscopes and shit, I feel like that's bullshit. You just wrote a fucking op-ed about how you feeling today and the other signs and whatnot. But like the fucking personality shit, like I say like all the time, like Annie's a Scorpio. Like I see it, I get it, I know what's going on there. You know what I mean? Listen, Annie, I love you, but I just can't be nice to you and be mean to Mitch the whole time. People are gonna catch on. They're gonna catch on.
I know I'm better than most people, so it's all right.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about.
That's
though. See that shit right there, ladies and gentlemen. Like this is what I'm talking about.
I can't do it.
Like this is what I'm talking about.
Has a single tear.
The fact that Mitch doesn't like even like give it any credence is so weird and wild.
I give it credence. I just I don't ask people, especially on a first date. Like
especially since like Mitch is like a typical Cancer. Like he's like so like he's like
amazing.
if he tells you you're a Cancer, you're like, oh wow, I get it. Like you're just like
I wish I knew more about this horoscope stuff because I don't. I only know about like the hot topic signs like Scorpio, Gemini, a little bit of Leo, basically what I've dated.
You look them up and then you look it up.
If I haven't dated you, I don't know nothing about you.
Yo, that's funny. I like that.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
If you're
Logan, when's your birthday again?
What?
When's your birthday again?
Oh no, I'm starting the show now. If you're just tuning in,
God damn it.
I'm your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm here with my best friend, Mitch. Say hi to the people, Mitch. Oh, come on now.
Oh, God.
All right. Hi, everyone.
It's the people.
It's not you, it's me. I promise it's not you, it's me.
We knew that.
Damn.
Just kidding.
They didn't.
Well,
Thanks,
speaking
Annie.
of Annie, say hi to the people, Annie.
What's up, people? Hey.
As always, if you like the show, share the show. You can find us anywhere: Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I think I said Google Podcasts first because it's so fun to say, like Google Podcasts. Google.
Look at the Google.
It sounded foreign.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
The Google.
We some first generation ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I don't know what to say. Anyways, how you guys doing today? How you doing? Oh, Jesus Christ! It really doesn't matter who I put on the show. This will always be how it is when I ask people how.
Yes, it's a wonderful reflection of our society.
Wow, that's deep.
It is. That's
I like
who I am.
that though.
Cancer, remember?
That's true. Nobody's really okay, right?
No, not at all.
Is anybody
Fuck.
happy right now?
You guys are so depressing.
You want to asking me if I'm okay was one thing. Now you want to move it a step further and ask me if I'm happy? Do we want people to hear how like horrible things are going for the human race right now? No, let's keep things positive.
Probably.
This is the one show.
Probably be comforting a
Probably,
little.
like-
This is
Yeah,
the one show.
maybe.
If you ask the hosts how they are, they will tell you terrible. Like there's no
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, we're so awesome.
Other shows, they're like, "How are you?" "Oh yeah, I'm doing great." Like they're lying.
Yeah,
Ask
no, they're
and you shall
fucking lying. Wrong.
Wrong.
Rest in peace, Charlie Murphy.
Wrong.
Straight up. Just keep it real.
Listen. I think we have a good show today, don't we, Mitch?
Honestly, I think we have a good show every day. It's you who
that's
complains.
The spirit. That's
Yeah,
what
man, I got
do.
spirit. I'm just not happy.
Just-
We're okay.
Mitch is that cheerleader that just like smokes while on the bench, like. Just like
Listen, man.
Wildcats! Rebecca, put out that cigarette. All right, fuck you, Jessica. Anyway, sorry. Got a little bit too interactive. That was supposed to be a teacher, mind you, and then Jessica came out, and I was like, oh, okay, it's another classmate instead.
Yo, while we're already talking on like dating people and stuff, I want to talk about something fun. Let's start fun. Mitch, you wanted to talk about how can I fuck this up? You wanted to talk about dominating and submitting to your partner.
Oh, right. But is that how I put it, man? Why you always fuck me up? It's like you literally
That's exactly what you
go
said.
out try to just fuck me up in the beginning.
You said that. You said
Just self-edit.
You said what it's like. You said what it's like to
I said just but you said all submit. I just said dominance and submission between men and women. I wasn't talking about either or submitting to
you
either.
said you had an experience about being a switch. And that's what you
About
wanted to
being
talk
a
about.
switch?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what the fuck a switch is. other than like switch as in a whipping instrument. Like, you know, because if you ain't been beat with a switch, you probably had a different childhood than I did. Like, other than, wow, I guess this all kind of connects to what we're going to talk about.
Wow.
But yeah, anyway. So my name is Mitchell O'Neill. And in this short writing, you're going to hear about dominance and submission between men and women. Okay, now let's go to my first bouts of evidence. All right, I have to stop that now. But seriously,
Got too
yeah.
deep into it.
I forget why we had brought it up. We was having a good laugh about it, and I just remember thinking like, one, I kind of hate the whole like dominate, submit type deal. Like, you know, a good woman has to submit to her husband type deal.
Okay.
You know, men always needing to be dominant in like athletics and stuff like that. I always thought that was kind of like bullshit, unfair, and in truth, just to me at least, because, you know, there are other people, everybody has their kinks, everybody has what they like in terms of relationship, they like to play a certain role. But to me, I always kind of thought like, well, I won't use any harsh terms, I just didn't like it. Because, you know, to me in any like instance, sexually, of course, that's between like you and your partner, but otherwise, like, it shouldn't necessarily be like a dominance game in terms of like life in general. Like, we're not fucking apes, but you'll see that aspect in society almost anywhere where someone could feel on top of somebody, or in some competitive nature, or in your professional environment. Like, it's just prevalent. People don't really know how to properly work together without there being some sort of hierarchy. That's just how their brain works. Now, I'm not trying to shame anyone or say that that's ineffective, because, you know, in the military, order of rank helps keep structure and order. It can serve its purpose there, but it's just like, do you need to be so concerned about being on top, like, at this 9 to 5, dude? We were supposed to like just fucking change a light bulb. Why did you have to take? That's like a ridiculous example, of course, but like, yeah, you notice it like a lot in life, and then it creeps into like other places, like I mentioned earlier, like sex and shit like that. And it's like, with a partner, what I'm looking for instance, I do like being in control, and at some point, and I do know there are women who, you know, like it when that happens. But what I'm actually looking for is like a fluid interchange that's more like a dance than like a circle of domination. Like, I take this step, which causes you to take this step. You take a step, which causes me to take this step, but we're both comfortable with the steps. Like choreo, you know what I'm saying? Now, that's hard to find in just like day to day. You know what I mean?
Okay, so when y'all blame me for fucking up the subjects, and I'd be right up spot on about what I say about the subject. Did I not just say that Mitch was a switch? And did not he take the long way around to tell us that he's a switch?
But first things first, I said I don't know what a switch is, and neither of you tried to even like.
Oh, did you? I missed the part where you asked. Did you ask?
I literally was like, "What?"
Oh, okay.
I was like, "I don't know what a switch is," and y'all just looked at me, and I was like,
because I wanted to see if this was going to happen, and it did. So,
oh, okay. Well,
I found that, and like,
so then using my own context clues, and realizing what a switch is, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I didn't know that
somebody who doesn't. Like, they can go back and forth between the dominance and submission.
Yeah. Okay, I see that. I could see that. Yeah. Sure. Mitchell doesn't mind that too much.
How far would you go being either or then? Like, what is the...
I'm not going to even speak in terms what I would like to hypothetically do. I'll just speak personally on...
But I mean, like, as far as control goes, I mean, like, how much control... Let me say it like that. How much control would you let somebody have over you in that way?
Good question. I think I'm willing to, like, let a woman tie me up. I don't know if I'd be into a whole, like, you know, when, well, it's the dom and then the bottom, but when they put him like in the suit and shit, and he's like, I don't think that's for me. But
just to clarify, we are talking just sexually.
Yeah, no, it could have been anything. Yeah.
Okay.
He's just.
Okay, continue, Mitch. Continue. So you're not gonna have anybody in the full blown latex suit, head to toe, peg you. Would you get pegged? Would you take three fingers on the booty ass?
God damn, this went 0 to 100 like real quick.
I'm trying to cut to the chase.
She asked a clarifying question and then hit the gas. Like, she was like,
"Are we just trying to give the people what they want?"
It was like, "This is like parameters, right?"
Like, talking about sex. I was like, "No, we're not." And she's like, "Well, why aren't we?" And she's like,
"I'm trying to help Mitch get to."
She's like trying to help him get to where he needs to get.
She's like, get to the good shit, man.
Speak frank.
But no, I'm good off the suit. I'm good off being pegged. I could play around with fingers with a woman, I guess. I'd be willing to experiment maybe and see how that works.
Every time I'm on this show.
But like, other than that, I haven't done that before. But like, I'm willing to. All right, well, you know, we could see how this feels a little bit.
You are
and
such
see
a
if I
secure
like
man.
It or not.
Like,
I know, so comfortable. I hope to be even more so.
You for that.
To be honest, I don't like that I'm not even more comfortable than I currently am. Being real with you.
So you don't like that maybe you should be getting pegged. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I agree.
I wish I was that comfortable.
Yeah, sorry.
Everybody should get pegged.
I know, right? You was expecting I was like, nah, I wish I was that comfortable.
Fucked in the ass. Like, damn.
Like I wish I was that secure. But I'm not. That would feel weird to me. I would legit have to put the full on. She'd be like, yo, all right, I put the strap on. Okay, I'm gonna need you to take the strap off and treat me like a human being.
Mitch is like, hold up, young M.A. Like, just
like, let's just relax. Like, I just met you. Yes. but no, I think so. Like I said, like if I'd let a woman tie me up, maybe some finger play. I'd have to see about that one though. We'd have to see where I'm at.
Real nice and warm.
How I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But in general, like the whole like strict, like, oh, I'm dominant, I'm submissive thing usually doesn't interest me. No shame to anybody else, but me personally.
Do you feel like you'd be like a better dominant person or a better submissive person?
If I'm really
or what are you? You know, I don't know.
Relax.
I don't know. I didn't want to like make presumptions. I didn't want to, you know.
If I'm really like really trying, I actually think I'd do better at dominance if I'm really trying. I could be just as submissive, but if I'm really trying, which one I'd be better at, I think I'd be better at dominating. But people don't know that about me because I'm so against it. Yeah, see, Annie laughs.
Yes.
Annie laughs because she knows how I am, but it's like, if I'm really trying, like, yeah.
Because
I have my
like no shade. I feel like you'd be better at submission for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
know you both do.
Thank you.
Yeah. I know you both do. I know y'all both think so. I know people would think so as well. But if I'm really trying,
because no, you don't. You want to know
perspective.
Why.
If I'm really trying, I know which one I do better at.
This is why I say that, because when I think about this topic, like. Just like when I think about it by myself, like without the show and whatever, without you ever asking this question, I've thought about this. Is that like what I notice is like, no, people think about shit like this. I do. Is that like what I notice is that when it comes to this whole thing, a lot of people who happen to be like really submissive are like completely opposite in their daily life. That's what I get. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And like they are just completely like they are always running. Like if they're submissive, they're like always running shit or taking care of things. And like the reason why I would say Mitch would seem more submissive to me is because like Mitch is very boisterous, outgoing. Like he wears a lot of his personality outside of himself.
But I don't see control like that.
I don't know.
It doesn't really have to
because attention is a form of control, and you like a lot of attention.
I don't like attention.
I don't know.
I just cause a ruckus. I don't like attention. I just cause a ruckus.
I know. He says it's a lie.
See, but you hear her say, I say this a lot. She don't believe me. I don't like the attention. I'll take it sometimes when I'm feeling okay in typical Cancer fashion.
You command that shit all the time.
Of course I command it. I'm a professional. But I don't necessarily like it. What do you mean
that? You said I'm a professional, but you're not on the stage. You're not getting paid.
Like when I need your attention, I'm going to get it. And if I'm with my friends, I'm going to have fun. Like I said, I cause a ruckus, which is why you guys pay the attention. I know that I'm fun. I can't help that. I don't like the attention. I don't need it from my friends either. That just naturally happens. I pay my friends attention. They pay me attention because I get crazy. I know this.
Whatever you got to tell yourself about that one. That was convoluted. Like that explanation was like,
I was like, yeah.
It was like, no, I don't need attention, but yeah, I'll take it if I. But like,
but
it's
of course
not
I'm gonna command
from my
it
friends
all the time.
I'm a professional. It can't be helped. I have this stage presence. I don't know what to tell y'all anymore.
That's what you tell yourself? I'm a professional.
It's not what I tell myself. It's just the damn truth. I'm sorry.
But my man, we in the living room. Like nobody's paying you for this shit. Like
no stage
like,
anywhere.
This is what I'm telling you.
I was with my homies, and when I'm feeling good, yeah, I am who I am. My personality shines through. Yes, I know. But I'm not the person like seeking attention. And it's funny because y'all, it's like all my friends are like, Mitch, I can't believe that. But y'all like never see me outside
says
of
it.
you.
Well, if everyone says
and the only one not saying it.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, let's stop talking to somebody who lies. Then Annie,
okay, what's up?
What do you feel about this subject? I'll ask you in that way. Like, how do you feel about this subject?
I mean, if we're speaking, purely sexually, then everybody. I do think everybody is a little bit of a switch, and then at some point, everyone learns what they like. I recently met somebody who was like an active, dominant person, and
you mean like dominant in the sexual,
in the sexual
role?
way.
Okay.
Like we were having a very candid conversation about the things he wanted to try with like a willing, consensual partner, and he was very, very, very dominant. He was like he had no submissive bone in his body, but like. In the conversation, he's a very, shy, quiet guy. And, it took a lot to, we talked for a while in order for that to open up. Me personally, I'm a switch, but I think I'm also much more on the submissive side. I'd much rather be submissive, alluding to the point you were making, Logan, earlier, right. How people tend to be one thing in their normal lives and then the opposite in bed. Because, I mean, of course, that's the vulnerable place. That's where you should be able to feel safe and vulnerable and completely commit to, whatever you want to feel and not worry about how you look or how someone is sounding or this and that. It's supposed to be a place of complete comfort and, relinquishing of control.
Right.
And I find that fun and interesting because I cannot relinquish control in normal life. You know what I mean? So I'm very much try to be in control of my day to day. So I think, everybody has a little bit of both in them. It's just a matter of like the people who are more comfortable exploring both of those usually have a better sense of what they like. But, that whole subject is so taboo that so many people don't really explore it as much as, I think that they should. Mm-hmm. So they'll say what they think, but I don't really, people don't really know. And like myself either, like I say all this stuff. If I actually try out how, in a legitimate situation, like this guy was offering to help me
right
by like, oh, come over, I have like this whole setup, I can like dominate you, of course, and you can like be a submissive person, we can try out and see what you like, and I was intrigued. I didn't do that with him ultimately, but the opportunity that where I could have actually truly explored that on myself was there, and I think that would have been interesting, and I think it would be interesting for most people to like have that opportunity to be comfortable enough to submit themselves completely or try the other way and see what they like. But I think people are just I don't think they try enough.
Do you mind if I ask you, Annie, do you mind if I ask you why you didn't choose to go forward with him? Was it him or was it just at the time?
Okay. I wasn't really feeling, he gave me the vibe that he thought he was much better than he was.
Okay. So it didn't even matter if he would have been that good. The fact is, the vibe was just like, eh.
Yeah, I wasn't into the vibe. He was. Okay. We were at a party, and there was like someone else would come up and like say hi to us. So I was going to introduce, myself to this other person, but then he would turn his back to them, and like he seemed like he had certain insecure points that I wasn't really feeling. Like I didn't like that he pushed other people out of a potential larger conversation, things like that. So I see. Was really, he was a nice guy, but I didn't think that I didn't think it would be worth it trying with him. You got to follow your instincts sometimes. Another piece that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I actually, because we have been talking about in terms of like sex a lot, but dominance and submission between men and women specifically isn't just sex. It shows up in a lot of different ways, like you just described. Mm-hmm. Like, why is dude is literally blocking people off from you in one sense, marking territory. Yeah, I know. You understand? Like that's exactly what it was. He was like, this is mine now. Why do men do that? Why do men do that though? You know what I'm saying? Men get very territorial.
Not all men, Mitch.
Not all men. Oh, okay, cool. You're fucking canceled. All right, I'm gonna need you to clock the fuck out right now and go outside and fucking time out. Me and Annie will finish the goddamn show and talk to you when we're done.
Actually, be the canceled one, but whatever.
My fucking God. Anyway, Annie, I apologize for this fucking bozo. Okay, so moving on.
What the fuck?
So moving on, like I was saying, but that does happen. Why do men do that? It's that it really is a whole like territory thing. It's asserting dominance. And while Annie, I'm glad you're comfortable with yourself and know yourself well enough to be like, that's a no for me. There are some women who may not know themselves well enough and like let it happen, or who are just comfortable with that. You know, no shame. Maybe a different one would have liked that. But it's like this weird like interchange between us. And it's just like, what the fuck is like really going on there? You know what I mean? And
it's interesting. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It reminds me of I was thinking of something because I have primarily I have a tendency to have a lot of male friends, not on purpose, but whatever. And I noticed that the way men and women talk about, like the way girls talk to each other about, like, if we just slept with somebody last night and we're talking about it to our girlfriends, we go in detail. We talk about all that, everything that happened, what it looks like, the size, everything. We give crazy detail about that. But apparently guys don't do that when they talk to each other about the girl they banged. I hit that, I banged this chick, her titties were big, she had a fat ass, and that's kind of like where it stays. There's not that much more detail into it.
Wait, I want to know, because like
it's like
might
saying,
not agree with that. So like I want to know like how what do you mean? What do you mean the extent that like girls will go to that men won't? Like further elaborate about that part.
Like girls will say like his dick, was the size. It was exactly this size. It curves that way. Oh, and the thing he did with his tongue was crazy. Oh, and then that part where he was, doing this and that. Like we'll just kind of do play by play. Sometimes I'm obviously generalizing, but we'll kind of like talk to each other in crazy detail about like how he made us feel, what his hands did, what was wrong with what his tongue did, but he made it up for this, but this and that. But allegedly, guys, the way they talk about it was like, I hit that. She has a fat ass. That was crazy.
It depends.
Her titty was huge.
I don't know.
It depends.
I've heard some stuff before, so I wouldn't say that's like. I mean, like that happens, but I think like guys kind of do the same thing you just described that girls do. Maybe not like you said that like
not as in depth. I don't think so.
No, no. Like she said that like they'll say like girls will say oh, he made me feel this way and stuff. Like maybe guys won't say that part, like the emotional part. Like they won't say like,
I didn't mean that part either.
My man,
when I said made me feel, the way
her fingers ran down my spine, like it maybe like
no,
maybe not like that.
Yeah. I didn't mean emotionally. I did mean physically.
Oh, okay.
Like the way he made, like
thinking, as
like,
you guys were like saying that, in terms of trying to describe, because like me personally, I feel the difference. Because to me, the difference is like. So rather than a dude being willing to be like, yeah, so, I grabbed her, pulled her into my arms and carried her down the stairs in a hot sweat as we were making out. My tongue licking her neck all the way up and down. I brought her to my bed and ripped her shirt open, and my fingers began to caress her breasts. Her large, supple breasts as I ran down her stomach.
All the dudes in the room would be like, come on, man, this ain't The Notebook. Except for like one dude in the corner. Would be like,
yo, let him finish.
Let him finish. Like,
just audio booking 50 Shades of Grey in the room with the boys.
Obviously, I am exaggerating, but I kind of feel the point, because it's not to say that we won't say a little bit, but we won't. We really don't go into real depth like that
too. What did you say? I'm sorry.
What was that?
That was bad podcast etiquette right there. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. What you were saying, I'll say what I'm saying.
No, I was saying obviously I was exaggerating, but I kind of feel it on the whole, because I hear that as well from my women friends, not just specifically Annie, but like they'll say that we'll go into and like talk about shit, and I'm like thinking about conversations with me and the homies. Some homies, different conversations, but most of the time. Yeah, man, I was able to get it. Like, it was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hopefully get back in again. It was real quick. Met up at the spot. Boom, boom. Brought over to this spot. Boom, 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 boom. You know how it went down, kids. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Put it to sleep real quick. That I was out. Hopefully I hit her up later.
Top line, like, it happened. It was cool. It was hot. I'm going to hit that again. Badass titties, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, like, that's about it. But girls are like, this is how long his pubes were, Like, crazy. His boobs are jiggling more than mine. But, only when he was on the bottom, though. Like, we'll stay random little details of every sexual act. I don't mean emotionally. When I said feel, I meant,
Okay.
But,
no, like, because I've heard guys talk about, like, you know, oh, she was this tight, or this was wet like this, or like, you know, they say like different things like that too. But like Mitch made a good point when he said that, like, he said that he's only had that experience with like certain guys, but like not other guys, which did make me second think it, because it's like, I think for a lot of guys, what happens is, like, even just going back to like the whole dominance situation, is that like what tends to happen, I think, is guys often see even people who they consider to be friends, competition. And so it's not the best idea if you figure that to like to say all the great things about this new person that you found, you know, sexually, because you don't want them to start trying to ease their way over there as well, you know. Whereas maybe with their closer friends, they might tell you like all the little details because they like trust you to not do that. You know what I mean?
That was that was the exact point I was trying to get to.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Like when I had this conversation, it was with, you know, two of my guy friends, and I was like, oh, it's interesting how girls tend to do this, and it seems like guys tend to do that. And they were like, yeah, I wonder if it's a territorial thing, because it seems to be a territorial thing that guys are like, I hit that, that's mine. I'm not going to give you more detail because I like what you said. You don't want that little thing to be like, oh, now he knows how good that pussy is.
And now that little thing's gone.
That's mine, you know?
Right.
The way that men have a tendency, generally,
to
get a little territorial.
Because once again, dominance in men, it's a serious, serious thing. And a lot of time, a serious, serious problem. Think about how our society was raised. So you have male and female, boy, girl, and we know where dominance and submission fits into that framework.
That causes a lot of problems.
Women submission. I know. That's why I'm saying, like, it's not even just sex. Like, it really is a serious issue between men and women. Because, like I was saying for myself, I like things to be fluid. And that's how I feel it should be in general. In terms of when you're interacting with someone, whether it be the sex, and specifically when it comes to, like, dominance and submission, everybody's different. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's because you're a man or a woman.
Right, but there's also a difference between like what we know as an intellectual, civilized people. We know that these things are probably not healthy, but we are also human. We're also animals. We also do submit to like, you know, the natural things that we like, whether we like it or not. The natural things that we have a tendency to do and feel, whether we like it or not. So, you know,
I was just talking to Sarah today about like sexual politics and how like there's always like, what?
No, I was just like, oh, damn, we got into sexual politics? Shit.
That's what it is,
I mean, that's what
though.
this is.
Yeah, it's like there's a way to like be even around people who you might not think that you're sexually interested in, but at the same time that like all of that always plays into like this weird like primal type of natural type thing amongst people. It's like people always like try to, I feel like, act like they're not a part of something natural. You know what I mean? Like they're beyond that.
Right.
When meanwhile, we're like giving off pheromones and shit like all day long. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like even like teenagers like trying to like navigate that world, like their body is telling them to become the person that like spreads their seed the most, you know what I mean?
Right.
Meanwhile they're like trying to be like, I don't know, getting their driver's license or some shit, and it's just like the weirdest space to be in when nobody's like explaining like the mechanics of all of that, you know what I mean? And so it's like just like we want to think we're enlightened, but at the same time, if your girl says something about some guy or something, is like, are you gonna feel some type of way about that? Like, what do you, like, what's gonna happen? Like, how you react is really gonna show like how enlightened you really are about some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm trying to say though?
Yeah, there is well, maybe not unfortunately, let me not say it that way, but the fact is there is like an interchange between like our logical and emotional selves, and on that spectrum it's like, yo, my brain's thinking one way, but my instincts, my just natural instincts that are kind of like in a different part of my brain are thinking an entirely different way. Like my conscious brain is doing this, but there's a lot of things happening in my subconscious and with just the natural instincts of my body that are gonna react and having a completely different reaction, and it's all happening within the same person at the same time, basically. Like you walk outside, you're gonna feel some shit, be thinking some shit. Someone's gonna walk by, you're gonna react one way. You know what I mean? Just is what it is. But it's like we kind of have to learn to get a handle on things, which in one way we have. That's what civilization is. It's what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Taming the more wild parts of yourself that could otherwise do things that are out of your control.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna need a better reaction from you on that next time, but we're gonna just move along for now.
I mean, do you have to?
It's okay. Next time, we'll get to it next time. Okay, we'll just get to it next time.
Just,
okay, we'll get to it. We will get to it next time, nigga. Okay,
do whatever.
Get to it next time.
He just
which
keeps
usually
going and
leads
going.
to trouble. But that is where the trouble ends up, like coming in.
No, because I think you should be honest. I just think you should be honest about who you are, what you like, and blah blah blah.
And it also helps, like, in the long run, because if you have that understanding of, like, okay, I'm smart enough to not be a dick when I don't need to be a dick. I'm smart enough to not be, and act like an animal because I'm not a wild animal. Mm-hmm. But I am still, I'm not God either. I am still like part of this body, and I need to be understanding and aware of the body I'm in and what it does for me and to me. And if everyone has that understanding, then I feel like it would be a lot easier to be able to get rid of all that, crappy communication brought on by, like, stigma and other things that make us feel embarrassed for feeling the way we feel, right? And liking what we like.
That's kind of like the other thing I wanted to talk about was, like, just like living how you want to live, like being who you want to be, and like I think everybody's like, yeah, do what you want to do, be who you want to be. But I think it's also like a kind of difficult thing to, like, actually practice, like put into the world, because you have to actually stand up for your lifestyle, basically,
who you are. Yeah. I mean, it's because, so Annie, you said, like, understanding, like, this body and what it does for me and what I feel. And the thing that I would added in terms of learning control is understanding what your body is capable of doing to others around you. Well, because that's something that I've personally had to deal with growing up. Well, it's not even about like what you will do, what you can do.
That's what I do. That's what I do. People around me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta.
I know what I
people
do.
like that too, yo. But
fellas, she's single.
You know what I'm saying? It's a good time. It's a good time.
Couldn't tell.
But yeah, you gotta know what the effect you're capable of having on others. Like, because I for instance, simple example for me is I've been told that I'm loud. You know what I mean? Like most of my life,
or in general.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
I'm gonna get you a pail of cold water, Annie.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
I'm talking about sex again, right? Just talking about sex again. I'm talking about fucking.
Come on. Let me have a conversation. Come on, man.
Yo.
What was it? Anyway? Yeah, we do have to be aware of this fact.
I gotta stop hitting happy hour before this podcast starts.
Shit, I didn't know you was going like that. You should, let me.
I know. We could all got lit down.
That was
very selfish.
Next week.
Yeah, bro. All right. So now I'm gonna have to deal with the hurt of having to be sober. Well, that's a lie because I'm still high.
You're high. Yeah.
I'm just hurt. I wasn't invited. I'm just like,
I know. Yeah, exactly.
I like being invited.
She wouldn't admit it on the
doesn't mean I'm gonna go, but I like being invited.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Just you thinking about me at least.
I had like a 31-minute window between when I was done with work and starting this podcast, and I was like, there is a taco spot on the corner. I can do this. Ran my ass over there.
Nice.
Yeah, now I'm here.
Got it done.
I made it. Thank
nice. You. I'm sorry, Mitch. What were you trying to say?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Anyway,
it felt
as
weird
I was
dragging
saying,
for a minute, so I wanted to bring it up. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
As I was saying, no, you have to also at least understand. It's not about like be responsible, but you got to understand the effect you have on other people. Because you could pull up because people have their insecurities and project them on you. Keep that in mind.
That's true. Well, that's not my problem.
Like, it's not. I'm not saying that's your problem. I'm not saying that's your problem. It's just, sometimes you can be considerate for certain things, but otherwise just be aware. Because sometimes someone may come at you. You could still cuss them out, but understand that you're not cussing them out because they really hate you or nothing. You cussing them out because they insecure a little bitch who has issues with themselves and probably need a good pat on the back.
I feel like you shouldn't even really entertain them that way. Like
I don't. I'm just saying.
A lot of the time when I deal with something like that, I really deal with it with like a lot of confusion on my part. Like I literally never sense it right off the bat. I'm really bad at like that type of conflict.
So was I.
Yeah, like even positively towards me, like any type of emotion towards me, I'm just oblivious. Like you gotta either speak in plain terms. Don't speak emotionally to me. Like speak like plainly to me, or I'm not gonna get it. Like if you're like coming shady at me, I'm like, that was interesting. Like I'm just like,
why'd you act
why was that like that? You know what I mean? Like because I was like, because me, I'm like, oh, this person, I thought they meant they were my friend, but like what the fuck is what is really going on? You know what I mean?
Something is happening.
But any other way, I'm not gonna like react like cussing them out, because if I actually find out, then I'm just like, yeah. Oh, that's what that was about? Like, really? Like, I would be like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna even entertain it, because I'm just like, that person, that's their problem. Like, I'm not like, if you feel some type of way about me and I really didn't do shit, like, I don't know what to do with you. You pressed. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, it's just like, I'm living fabulously over here. I'm good. Like,
I'm good.
You need to go get good.
Go find what you need. Give
him like $5 in a hat.
That's all I really had to say on that.
That's all you had to say about. Okay.
That's all I really had to say about it.
Annie, let me ask Annie. Annie, do you feel like you're like living the way you want? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like the way you envision the most Annie-est Annie? Like, do you feel like you're her?
No.
Okay.
How do you ask that question like that?
Well, what would you need to? That's what I'm saying. This is what this is about.
Yeah. Okay.
What would you need to be that person then?
So there's this like person in my head. I'm convinced that we all have like the alternate version of ourselves in our head that we are living with every day, right?
Yeah.
So I've been actually working on trying to like really pick apart this person in my head that I'm gonna call like what I'm imagining, like what I would call like the coolest person, right? Like that's a person I would want to be. That's like a top-notch person. And I'm trying to pick apart characteristics of that person to see what I think makes them this type of person. And I'm like, how can I implement those things into my life and learn how to have those things so that I can slowly become this person that I see as like the coolest person, right?
Right.
So, I recently got TSA pre-check because I feel like this person would have TSA pre-check. That's like a little stupid little example, but I'm like, you know what?
Out here with the clear.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm online, a long-ass security line to go to Dallas, like Texas, and I'm like waiting on this crazy line. I'm like, this sucks. So I'm looking at the TSA line. It's like, there's 1 minute of waiting where this line is like 42 minutes. And I'm like, damn, I feel like this person in my head would not be waiting on this line.
Yo,
so I applied, and now I have TSA pre-check. You know what I mean? Like little shit like that. Like this person can speak another language. I can't yet, but I'm slowly but surely working on it. This person can play an instrument or two. Another thing that I would like to slowly be working at. So it's like this person has a type of personality to do what you were saying earlier. Live how they want to live. They don't really give a crap about what other people, like they're aware of how they make other people feel. They're not an asshole, but the way they live their own personal life is very much like, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be respectful, but I'm also going to be real. And I'm going to say what's on my mind. I'm going to ask the questions that I'm thinking in my head. And I think that I used to be this person, at some point in my life, I think I did encapsulate all that. And I feel like I lost it also in the last few years.
Yeah.
Because of the world, whatever you want to call it, life, right? I got to pay bills, so I'm not working the cool jobs that I used to work, things like that. And because of that, like, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no.
So I'm not the person I think I could and should be. Mm-hmm. Am I trying to work towards it, yeah, but like it's tough because it's not even just me anymore, right? I have to go against what like the world is throwing at me, you know, inflation, really low salary, living in a city where I'm priced out of even finding my own apartment, you know, like just those little basic things, you know, like work and living. It's the personality things that are also affected by that, though, because if your confidence is low, if you can't find an apartment, if you're not being paid well, if you don't feel like you're being respected by your family or your job or this and that, that's all going to affect those other important personality traits like being confident and walking this world as if you live in it, right? As if this is the world I live in. So I'm going to walk with the confidence as this person should. But the world has that way, as we all know, of beating that shit out of you. So it's tough. And I also understand that it gets only tougher the older you get. It doesn't really get easier. It only gets harder. So the only thing you can do is like continue to discipline yourself even more to get yourself out of that thinking in order to get back into this place of like, okay, this person also works out every day because they have to, because that's the thing that gets their blood flowing and it makes them feel a little bit better and they can do more in their day because they have the energy from doing this, you know, exercise routine every day because I'm not 21 anymore, right? I don't have that natural energy to go all day and go all night like I did 10 years ago. I don't have that anymore. Now I have to get like work to give it to myself. I have to spend an hour and work out so that I can have a little more energy to have more awake hours in my day and feel a little bit better physically, whatever. So it's like those things I'm being reminded every day that like I can't go a full day without having like 5 full minutes of like a full body stretch. I never needed that, but I need that now to move. That's good though. Because I feel physically stiff and it makes me want to sit and it makes me want to lay down and go to sleep. You know, the number of moments I feel in a day where I'm like, all I want to do is just lay down and cover my head in my fucking blanket and pillow and go the hell to sleep is constant. And the only thing that helps alleviate all that are like these disciplinary things, like getting up and moving anyway, stretching, working out, drinking a little more water. And like, that's work now. It came so naturally. It came so naturally my whole life, and now it's not.
Right. Annie is doing so much more work on her life than I am. Like it's just like
I don't even want to talk about much more work. She was like, "Yeah, I'm ashamed of myself," and then I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Oh shit." Then fuck. All right. I need some time to cry. I'm saying. I was like 5 minutes. I was like, damn. I was like, God damn.
That's like That's the extent of what I'm actually doing. I know I should be working out and doing this and doing that, but I stretching is the one thing where I'm like, it feels like I'm doing something.
Don't be modest now. You got clear and you're stretching. Really. I don't want to hear it. True.
The TSA thing that did help my confidence.
Living her best life over here.
Yeah, I'm saying.
She's like 45 minutes
like to travel,
for
though,
Dallas? Fuck that.
To the audience, Annie does like to travel. You guys should ask her about where she's been and then ask her about places she should go.
Oh, yeah.
Just putting it out there.
Thanks, Mitch.
Milk and toast. Ask Annie is like where we shouldn't go or like where we should. Like
don't
I always
take
think
the train from Chicago to New York. That shit is ghetto. That's what you shouldn't do.
Understood. This is valuable information.
I took an Amtrak like a month or two ago across this whole country. I took an Amtrak from LA back home to New York City. And there's a change in Chicago you have to do. So I was on one train from LA to Chicago, and then you get another train from Chicago to New York. Yeah, just fly home from Chicago, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that shit. I was like,
damn. What's so wrong about it? What's the worst part?
It was just like felt like you're on the fucking subway and like in the hood or whatever. Like it's just so bad. Like it's just the seats. People are just like loud. People are smoking cigarettes on this train.
Wait, it's like the 90s on this train? I'm
saying,
not a single person. Wow. These people have like loud music blasting from their phones, and it's like there's babies walking without diapers down the aisle and shit.
Oh, shit, is the 90s like, for real. Okay.
Like, yeah, for real. Shit, me. No, goddamn.
That shit was wild.
Bottomless baby could not fly now. In the 90s, it was kind of cute. Like you could that could happen in the store, and people. Like, yo, listen, come on. Look, come on. Right. Whereas now they'd be like, oh my God.
I almost kicked that shit.
Oh my God, what are you doing? Like Child Protective Services, I don't know what's going on with this family, but you need to come get this child.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, that's
no.
just crazy. That's what you shouldn't do.
It's weird how shit changes like that though, ain't it?
This has been Travel Tips with Annie.
Yes. Ghetto. Ghetto.
That's crazy. I like that one. Though.
See y'all? See how valuable it is already? Travel time with Annie. Yeah.
I love getting like little tips from friends and shit. And like,
that
reminds me, Mitch, have you ever been to Industry City?
No, that sounds like a place in a video.
Yes, you have. He has one time.
He has?
Yeah.
Thanks,
we
Annie.
went to a party there one time years ago.
Thanks, Annie. Yeah,
no, like what they was telling me was like there's this whole anime floor in one of the buildings at Industry City. I was like, oh, I gotta bring Mitch. So like
Industry City?
Yeah,
Annie,
we gotta go.
Please, I'm blank
now we gotta go.
My brain is doing stuff because of mental.
I know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's like on the water in like South Brooklyn. Yeah, a bunch of warehouses in like South, like Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. I don't think it would really, it's hard to explain. Like, do you remember a few years ago we went to a free concert? Who was there? I was like, it was me, you, and like a bunch of other people. We got T-shirts at Brooklyn Army Terminal. You know the Brooklyn Army Terminal T-shirt?
Yeah, I remember the terminal.
Yeah, it's like in that area. It's hard to explain. You've been there once, but you should go again.
It's on 36th Street. We'll go. We'll go.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll go.
Sounds like a plan.
Because I gotta take you down to like that. Because like I just learned today that like there's this big anime store. Like it's just Japanese and anime shit and comics and everything. Like just for a whole warehouse
floor. Because it's Japanese anime. And
you love that shit. You're a weeaboo. You're
gonna love it, huh?
So like, yes, you are. So we're gonna go, and you're gonna have a great day. And
I want to resent that statement. But alas, I need to know if I can get a katana at the store. So answer my question, which will determine whether we weeboo or not.
I don't know. We will have to find out if we can find you. This will be the quest for the katana.
I'm listening.
Plan out now.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, obviously, I can't recall the exact time I went there because some things mesh these days. But yeah, I'll go again. Sounds fun. Sounds like a good time.
That sounds really
dead
fun.
Looking for a katana.
That's where fucking Micro Center was when I went. I was like, oh my god.
And this. Oh, okay. Yeah. Still one on the island. But yeah, Micro Center's a good place, man. Shout out to Micro Center for
crazy. They
trying to beat the internet.
They beat it.
See, hey. We know it's hard, but don't worry. Retail gonna make a comeback. You just got to remember the people. Because the thing the internet forgot was the people.
I didn't even buy anything. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I did buy something, but like it was like $10. It wasn't
supporting small. Well,
this is not a small business.
Not small. Supporting big, but not necessarily super corporate business.
Yeah. Hey, if Micro Center wants to sponsor this show,
we'll put out all that. Hey.
Want to give us like
you
free
heard it here
microphones
first
and shit. Like, hey,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They'll hear it here first. Daddy needs a new gaming computer. Is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
They got all the parts. They do.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Annie, you need something? You saying? You know what I'm saying? You need to pick up anything? You know what I'm saying?
Their whole fucking shopping list.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that's all. I'm just No. Rock with us.
Eddie wanted to talk about shower arguments, and I thought that was the cutest, like, funnest topic the way she described it. So tell us what you want to talk about.
Tell the shower.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how like, sometimes you're talking to somebody, you get into like a little spit spat and, a little argument, whatever, and you say what you say, but then later on you think about other shit that you could have said. You're like, damn, I should have said this. I should have said that. And then you're just mulling over it and it's just evolving into like this whole bigger thing of what you think about this person and all this other stuff. And then later on, you get into the place where the ultimate arguments are just formed and perfected in the shower, right?
Yes.
So you're in the shower and you're thinking about it even more. And now you're screaming at your shampoo bottles about like, this and that. You know what? Another thing. I like that. And it's like
lots of finger guns. Lots of finger guns.
The most eloquent, stutter-free, amazing argument you could ever win a freaking Oscar for. But it always remains in the confines of your shower. So I'm curious.
You ever take it outside the shower?
I mean, you could always try, but does it ever translate? It doesn't. Not at least
exactly
not for me.
The same.
It never does.
What happens when you usually take it out? Like, what happens?
I mean, do you usually take it out?
Have you ever tried?
I don't think so, because usually they're arguments that have already happened. So if I'm taking it out, that means I have to re-bring up this whole thing.
I'll run it
You'll
back.
run it back.
Yeah.
I have to.
Listen,
but like,
I thought about this shit.
For real.
Have you done that before? What was the time you did that? Explain that argument.
Not like heavy, not for like heavy, serious things. Just in terms of like little subjects that I know that maybe I could bring up earlier. Like when I'm talking to James, but not my cousin, like my friend James, because sometimes we can get into little like political spats. And, you know, one of the coolest dudes I know, but, you know, he's a white dude, so he feels a different type of way about certain things sometimes. So I'm not going to bring up our
you
last...
always do that to this man.
I know.
This is not the first time you've done that to him.
Yo, he's my dog. That's my dog. But like, we think very similar along some lines.
You would think.
This guy, Brian Adams, motherfucking white man.
Why are you
talking to me? I just had to think of the whitest name I could think of. Anyway, continue, Mitch. Sorry.
Valid. That's actually a very valid point. It's just, and in my head, I only did it to differentiate him from my cousin James. But then I remembered that, like, I already said this isn't my cousin James, and I'm just an idiot. But like, yeah, we'll get into little arguments sometimes, like here and there, different little spats. We got into one the other day that I haven't like wanted to bring up or talk to about. But sometimes we'll talk about like spiritual matters or even like certain politics between like black and white people, like in terms of protesting. Like one for him was
why they burn
not necessarily like the reverse racism thing, but trying to figure out navigating like, you know, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy, you know, the white dude who's trying to, you know what I mean? And put in a sense, who's trying to be like,
no, you got to explain that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, you know, we're the people like protesting, and you want to be the dude like on the front lines there, but at the same time, you don't want to be the white dude who thinks he's taking over, but at the same time, you're a white dude who's there, so people are going to think that you're there to do that in the first place. Does that make more sense?
Just don't go to the front and say anything.
Thank you. I was just about to say.
I'm not saying that's what he did.
Just be there.
But we got into an argument. But that's not necessarily who he is, because he is the type of dude like, I'm about this shit. I want to be more active. You know what I mean? So and like I said, this isn't like a big issue, but we'll get in little spats and be like, yo, listen, like there's some things you have to understand you can't do. But being who he is, he's like, but like, come on, realistically speaking, like, give me an explanation, like not just the whole because I'm a white dude type deal.
No, it's because it's not about him.
I know that. Yes. And that's where we get to. That's where we get to.
Is it
you know
not,
what I mean?
Wait,
exactly.
I have to say.
Yes.
Now we're on this for some reason. I had a very cute topic that we were on, and now we're on this.
I know.
See, this is what happened last time. I'm trying to tell you.
Damn it, Mitch.
No.
Anyways, listen, I have to say, because he says like, what's a better reason than I'm just white, right? And this is literally the point of why we're all here, is because like the point is that like the problem usually stems from like this happened because this person was black or brown or whatever, you know, whatever wasn't white at that time. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting to me that he says that, because it seems that like white people understand that something shouldn't happen to them just because they're white, but like they also live in a society where something happens to somebody because of their skin color literally every day, all the time. You know what I mean? So like that type of exemption where it's like, well, how can I get this thing that happened in my life where it has nothing to do with my race, even though I'm going to the race-based event? It's just like,
confusing. I'm not. You know that's why we get into the. And I personally.
But then the other level is like to not see any form of privilege about that. Like it's just like
no. Let me not, because I am paraphrasing.
Okay.
He does still understand that. That's where the confusion stems. That's why we have the discussion in the first place. Because I'm the dude he can talk to. Where he doesn't, because I am the guy where I'm your friend. I'm not thinking about you and color or anything like that. We're going to talk real talk. And that's why we have the discussion. So, and mind you, I can't remember the exact conversation. I am paraphrasing, so don't quote me on everything.
No,
but the point is, we'll have these discussions and I'll get into the shower and all of a sudden I'm Martin Luther King Jr., my nigga. It's like,
okay.
This was the point I was trying to make. This is what I was trying to make. Like, yo, I'm Martin Luther King Jr. in this motherfucker. Like, I had this. I understood exactly what I was saying. But then, you'll bring shit back up. And in one sense, you only really made things worse because it like is more complicated of an issue than just you or I in the first place. Mm-hmm. So that's just one example for me because it doesn't happen often, but I get where Logan's saying at least because if Annie, you don't bring them outside the shower, I get it. But for certain conversations, like I'll shower and be like, wait, like, I'm Martin Luther King. Goddammit. I'm Martin Luther King, bro. Mm-hmm. And you get back and it's like, you are not Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wait, you're my friend.
You please shut the fuck up and go sit down.
Like, oh, we already resolved this, so I don't want to bring this up again. But
so I'm sorry for making that complicated, but yeah, that's what I meant in that sense. But like, I feel like it's good sometimes to bring them out the shower, but like, the shower episode, and this is like from my therapist too, you have unresolved issues that you obviously don't want to bring it back up. You didn't want to feel this way in the first place. You don't want to have these issues, but you needed to get that shit out. Otherwise it's just stewing around inside of you.
And I wonder if like being in the shower, the water, there's noise,
relaxes
right?
you?
There's a lot of white shower noise. So I wonder if that also has something to do with like, your brain doesn't have like the silence to like be distracted or overthink. It's like you have the space to just like really, and you're not looking at, you're in the shower. That's have the space and place to really actually think about what you're trying to say, and you're able to like elaborate a little bit better because it's like it's almost like
water.
Almost like sensory deprivation a little bit, right?
Like sit in the bathroom and turn the shower on.
It makes
sense. I got a lot to think about. Shit.
It makes sense.
And the wall is a foot away from your face. There's rainwater. There's nothing. It's just a perfect place for you to just like mull. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gonna.
All of that makes sense.
Off,
can't deny any of that. All of it really, really sensible. And like you just have you feel relaxed and you have that extra time that you otherwise didn't have. I think it's honestly just kind of like a human reaction to dealing with
shit.
What's the word? Not like guilt, or I guess unresolved like issues or just emotional turmoil happening within you. You got to get that shit out.
Hey Logan, give me your shower fight. What happened?
Well, I was gonna say.
Sorry, I
hate y'all.
I know. I'm like,
tell me about your bullshit. He tries to do that
all the time. He tries to get out of talking about his bullshit. You gotta be on his ass.
No, what I was about to say is the most Logan thing I can think of is the fact that most of my shower arguments are before there's even an issue. Like it's just
no.
Most of my shit is about an argument I'm planning to have. Like it's not about.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's saying he's neurotic. Just bear with us.
Before it is literally me doing all of my fucking like contingency plans of how I'm gonna fuck you up in my next argument with you, and going over all the shit I think you're about to say because I know you, or you know what I mean. Just like, if this person says this, then I'm gonna go with this, and if they say that, then I'm gonna go with that. Like I'm like fucking debate Batman in the shower. Like I'm just like coming up with every scenario of how to make you wrong.
Don't be supporting this. Y'all need help.
No, yes. Like, yes, that's exactly it. Like, that's exactly it. Like I said, the whole fight with someone later, you think about it because it was the easiest way to explain like my topic, the shower thought thing. Yeah. But like that's exactly, that is more, I go through that more than I do with we just had a fight. It's always like I'm thinking of all these people that I know, and I'm going to just like rip them up of if we had this argument, this is what I would say about each and every one of them. Yes. And same thing, I would imagine what they would say back because I know them. So I'm like, they'll probably hit me with that. So I'm going to hit them with this. It's just like.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Because on one sense, I can relate. I was just fucking around and calling y'all crazy. But for me, the only way I do a preemptive argument, there has to be some impetus from a friend or someone that day. Like something had to happen.
I just been thinking about people.
That's what I was trying to say.
And
it's not. Nothing happened, man.
Nothing needs to happen.
Nothing happened at all.
Okay, but are you sure it's nothing? Because I don't mean it has to happen the next day. Something could have happened like 4 months ago.
No,
and you having the discussion.
No, I got in the shower and I chose violence. That's what happened.
Bro, I tried. I tried. Yo, I tried.
Yeah.
I remember there was this one shower thing I had one time. Oh my God. It came out of nowhere. I used to work at Starbucks many years ago. And I worked with, there was like maybe 7 or 8 people that I worked with like every day. I saw them often enough. Yo, I'm sitting in the shower and I go through every single person and I'm like, okay, this person, this is what I think about you. You're doing this. This is all your flaws. Like I'm just ripping their whole personality apart. And then I'm going, it's like I'm visualizing, I'm going, side by side. And then I hit this one kid and I'm like, and you know what? You actually have kind of a good head on your shoulders. I'm actually not worried about your future. I think you're going to do really good for yourself, but you're still a dick. And then I moved to the next person. I'm like, and you, motherfucker. Like I could still be like, you know what? You're an asshole, but you have a good head on your shoulders. So you're going to probably leave a pretty fine life. But anyway, you're still a dick. Anyway, this person, yeah.
You know what I noticed, though? A lot of time when I do that, is that, like, what ends up happening is, like, the argument doesn't go the way I thought it was going to go. But this is what I mean by that, though. Because I know what you guys think, but, like, it's something completely different. Like, it's not that it doesn't, like, I end up being dumb or losing the argument. What happens is, the argument isn't even like 2% of what I thought. Like I am completely overkilling this argument. Like it's like I have already like just the first bit of what I have to say. They're already like, oh yeah, I get that. Like they're just like, and then I don't have anything to say. Then I'm like, oh shit, I'm like way over prepared for this. I don't know what to say now. You already like gave me the victory. Why? I don't know. What am I supposed to do at this point?
That's so funny. Like, yeah, you got a point. You're right. And you're just like. You're like filled with what you had ready
with, like, everything
to come out. Now you're just blocked. You're constipated with all this, so much more argument.
More fight. It's just like
now you're just blocked.
You are backed up with so much more shit that you had planned.
This has to go somewhere.
Now it's stuck.
It's like
now it has to go somewhere.
It's like you're an asshole. And it's like, I remember that time. I see. No. And you're selfish. I get that too, man. Like, I'm sorry.
And now you're
Fuck you.
just just fucking pissed off now. Fuck what? Now you just want to physically hurt this person.
Yeah, it's just like, how dare you take this away?
Wait for me. No, fight me. Yes, bitch. But no, we won't.
Speak for yourself. Annie, how do we find the sexiest person alive?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good question.
Okay, should I put on an accent, love?
Okay.
You want the accent, love, because we're going hunting.
So what are we doing, right? We're let's say that it's our job to scout for People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive or Maxim's Sexiest Woman Alive. Where am I going to go to find this person?
I'm not sure, love, but I know we're going to be wrangling us up some sexy.
Let's start with the man. Where am I going to go to find the sexiest man alive?
All right, I'm going to do it for the culture.
Well,
somewhere
and I'm going to say
sun.
The continent of Africa.
Yeah, right. I would say somewhere that gets a good amount of sun.
Okay, all right. Well,
already too late. I took it there.
I was gonna say since I live in Brooklyn, but like whatever.
That's true.
There's a lot of diversity here, but we're going to the continent of Africa. Somewhere there in that region.
Continent? Like, goddamn, there's like so many different.
Now you're in Africa. Now pick a country.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to say we go to Kenya.
No, it can't be Kenya, Mitch. It can't be any of the ones that we actually hear of. It's got to be a country that like no Americans ever heard of. Go.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're in front of a computer.
Fine. We'll go to Angola.
I got a map up.
Angola?
That's a good one. Angola doesn't get a lot of... We're going to Angola. I have no idea what the Angolians look like.
I know. I know you don't.
I'm going to Google some Angolans. Angolan men.
Angolian people.
Look at you guys. Oh my goodness.
Deep in this Google search. Mozambique.
Oh, wow.
I just like the way it said Mozambique. Oh, yeah. Probably good with your
Mozambique's a pretty hot spot, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, actually, Mitch. The country with the clicks. That'd probably come in handy, right?
Mozambique, Angola. Seeing some handsome men right about now. Let's see. Angola's 10
Ethiopia?
most handsome men alive, 2021.
Ethiopia does have pretty people.
I might hit up Ethiopia.
Ethiopia does have pretty people.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got the country.
It's not lying.
Now let's narrow even more in. Give me an establishment. What type are you going to, like a gym? You going to like the mall? You going to like a college? Are you going to hit up like
That's
some sort of financial?
What industry has like the prettiest people? Like what industry has the prettiest people? Like
you gonna hit up a farmer? Like they're layered, so they're layered. But you take them layers off.
Farming is like agriculture is hit and miss. Like it's just
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yo, straight up. Like you might get the really hot farmhand. You might get the dude who looks like his parents were related.
You're gonna hit up like a
yeah, that was too far. I'm sorry, that was a little bit too far. But just
damn.
Yo, it is what it is. That's all I'm saying.
This podcast is brought to you by Alabama.
You just wanted to win the conversation, the competition for who could be the most fucked up in that moment, didn't
Thank you.
You won. You won. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Better me than you. Better me.
I mean, if you say so.
Better me than you.
If you say so. I wasn't trying to take it there. I made the joke. We all know where I was thinking, but I wasn't trying to take it there. And then you were like, wait, I have my opportunity.
It was in my sights. I'm sorry.
I noticed. I saw. All right.
Like maybe keep him like a college gym.
Yeah. What do you, Annie? What do you think is like the sexiest job? A man. Since we're talking about men, we might as well.
Dancer.
A dancer?
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. I think. Well, yeah. I think the sexiest people are like dancers because like they can dance. Their bodies are probably right. They have rhythm. I feel like even if your face is like
this makes
nice
sense.
solid 6, if you're a dancer, I feel like that gives you like 2 whole numbers up. Like you're 8 now.
So you like, okay, this is interesting. So like for you, like a body can outweigh a face.
Well, it sounded
it's
like
not even what the body
did.
looks like. It's what you can do with it. Like a dancer's head just have like that smoothness, that rhythm to it. Like even the way they walk is on point because, they're body trained, right? Their feet are trained. So it's like, it's like a whole thing. So now that I said dancer, I'm thinking of like dancer man's bodies. Samoan Islands? I don't know.
Oh, so we're going to Samoa.
I might stick with Ethiopia.
An Ethiopian dancer?
Is there what?
Ethiopian dancer?
Yeah, like a. Is there some sort of dance?
You know what?
School
what is
in
it?
like the city, or Djibouti? That's a little country east of Ethiopia.
Okay. Ethiopian dancers. I'm just gonna look up some Ethiopian dancers.
So the top 10 sexiest jobs for men, according to collegeatlas.org, coming in 1 is the architect. I'm not sure how the list is. We're just going to do it. So 1 is an architect. Number 2 is a lawyer.
Some of these people that make these lists never had sex. So
exactly.
Probably. Number 3 is a doctor.
Sounds like an architect.
Number 4 is marketing. Number 5 is a teacher.
Okay.
Number 6 is an environmental scientist.
Somebody with a complex made this list.
Number 7 is an engineer.
Ugly people made this list.
8's a physical therapist. 9's an accountant. Oh, guys. Number 10 is, in terms of sexiest job, number 10 is the police.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
like, what is this?
Yeah, was it this country? Because I think this country is the only one with the shitty police.
Brought to you by collegeatlas.org.
The police are pretty bad most places, but like,
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, what about women?
Where
are you going to go to find the sexiest woman alive? I think Brazil is kind of a safe.
Yeah, I'm going to South America.
No, I'm not going to Brazil.
We are now going to
Brazil
South America,
is so
and I'm going to Brazil.
But it's like, it's not. Like, I know Brazilian people and women, and it's just like, I could do better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
All right, where would you go then, Logan?
Besides Brazil, I don't know. I like Middle Eastern women. So
okay.
The Middle East.
Okay, you're in the Middle East now.
Okay.
I like Middle Eastern women and Hispanic women. So it's like, what am I gonna do?
But we can't go to Brazil, so
you'd
rather go to maybe
Brazilian people aren't Hispanic, Mitch. So there's that. So there's that also. So
shit.
I think they technically count still.
No, And he's like laughing at me.
No, I mean there's the other cultures. Well, they might. Okay, so they're just Latin American, or do they not count?
Yeah, they would be Latin.
Well,
not
Latin American,
but they wouldn't be Hispanic. No.
Okay.
They're not Spanish. They're Portuguese.
I know that, but
so it's like it's confusing. Come on,
Haitians are considered Hispanic, right?
Yeah, but that's different.
Well, because of the mix, but we're not anyway. So anyway, top 10 sexiest jobs for women.
Yo, Haitian
also
women be like
Atlas
too, though. Like Haitian women, like nobody talks about that, but Haitian women actually be really fine. To be honest,
I know a lot of them.
Yeah, that's
coming
true.
in at number one is a lawyer again. Oh no, that was number one. Last time was architect. Number two is marketing.
What list are you looking at? Are you
collegeatlas.org? Number 3 is advertising.
For what?
Number 4 is a teacher.
About?
Nobody knows.
The top 10 sexiest jobs for women. Number 5
okay,
is
but
physical
what do you
therapist.
think? I'm asking your opinions, not this fucking ugly loser
I was
who wrote
getting
this list.
Me
weird
in terms of career.
Guy who probably has a foot fetish. No offense, people with foot fetish.
Probably has a. Oh wow, sexiest career.
What's a sexy career?
Like,
I don't know, barista. I don't know.
Oh shit!
Right, that's a hard one actually.
I like accessibility. Like, I want to see you every day. So like, so like that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Like, okay.
Oh wow, this one might be fucked up, but I respect the position highly. And I think one of the sexiest jobs for a woman is porn actress.
What the fuck, bitch?
Right.
What the fuck? Really?
I think it's pretty fucking sexy if you ask me.
So you would date a porn star? That wouldn't be a problem for you?
If there'd be some places we need to go.
So shut the fuck up.
You've literally said on this show before that you would.
What are you, 10? Jesus.
I didn't say that I wouldn't. I didn't say that I wouldn't. If I recall what I said was some things would have to be considered, but I'd invest in it. I wouldn't mind. I'd definitely be attracted to her.
That's her job.
Yeah.
You go to work. What needs to be considered when you go to work?
I guess not much. But, actually, the nature of my barista, work.
You have to be good with your hands, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be fast with the
talking to people, flirting with people to get tips and shit.
How you know I'll be flirting people to get tips?
Because you're a slut, Mitch. That's why.
I resent that. Just a little bit. Not a lot, but I resent that still. But yeah, I think porn actors are a pretty hot position. Oh, otherwise, librarian. Yeah, I think it's pretty sexy. Otherwise, librarian.
What's sexy about it? I mean, besides the obvious, what is sexy about? Yes.
I mean, having that control of their own bodily autonomy if they're comfortable in what they do.
They're not the directors.
They have to agree to certain terms. They go into certain things. They don't just get unless you're talking about sex trafficking. Okay, yeah. You're talking about sex trafficking. What the fuck?
But they were down on their luck and they had to sign a contract that says, yeah, you're going to get railed on camera. Like,
how do you know they were down on their luck?
Most of them are. Like, what do you mean?
Most of them. I feel like that's a stereotypical. I'm doing this for money. Like, I feel like that's a stereotypical answer because it can be very lucrative for women in the business. First off, because I have actually done some of the research. Not ashamed to say that at all. But it can actually be very lucrative depending on what you're doing, and a lot of the standards have changed from like old school to now. I think it's pretty hot. And they get interviews with these women. They're so beautiful. They're so comfortable with themselves. Yeah, it's because of what they do, but I think it's really sexy. I know it's like, I know it's kind of cliche, but
a lot of porn actresses are Republicans, so I don't know about that. So.
Well, that's you.
The white ones.
That's fucked
up.
Yo, that's funny.
I'm trying to tax.
And he's like, yeah.
But otherwise, I would say a librarian's pretty hot.
If that's what you're watching.
And are you against white people porn?
Huh?
You against white people?
I'm not against it. It's just like, the whole main page is on it. I'm like, all right, I'm over it.
Oh my God.
And that is the thing to talk about.
That is a red flag. That is a red flag. If your partner only watches white people porn or any just I'm going to say that one. Yeah. Because there's something weird about just watching white porn because of I'm going to say why. Because let me explain this myself. Because if somebody watched just black people porn, I wouldn't necessarily question it, especially if they were black. You know what I mean? I might question if they was like white or something.
And it was only watching black people porn? What if they're a white person only watching white people porn?
If there was a what?
If they're a white person only watching white people porn.
I question that.
I don't know if that's fair.
Why? Why isn't that fair? Really, I need to know. Because I want to be introspective about this.
In the instance, because you said, black people watching black people porn, I get that would be normal. You're like, I get that. But you're like white people watching white people, only watching white people porn. Now, you said black people only watching black people porn. But white people only watching white people porn is weird. My question is why?
It's a little problematic.
How so?
Because you live in a society
period
that has more. Yeah, we live in a society.
No,
because you live in a society that has more than just white people in it, and your culture has a problem with excluding other cultures already, and now you brought that into
the bedroom.
Your bedroom and shit. Like it's
where there's
just
a person of color here.
You're like, no, that's not what I meant, Manny. But like,
oh God, I wish we had video.
It's just like further solidifying that thing. Just further solidifying that trope. Whereas like for a black person, if a black person only watches black people porn, I feel like black people deal with other cultures and white people like all the time, all day, in a way that's beyond themselves. You know what I mean? Like white people don't necessarily have to do that in like their day-to-day life. They can detach. Whereas like being black in America, especially, let me just say for like America, right?
Okay. Being
black in America, you have to deal. Like, so it's like if you just want to watch black people porn, it's kind of like a break from that. Whereas if you're a white person, you're just watching white people porn, what are you taking a break from?
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're taking a break. We gotta work twice as hard to get fucked half as hard as white people. It's true.
That's
you gotta blow 3 times as hard to come a quarter as hard as a white
Who's
bitch
10 now?
This is why we can't have nice things. This is why.
Logan Dead said just like, I brought this on myself.
I did. I tried to have a nuanced conversation about.
Sorry.
I heard you. I actually still don't think it's fair, and I think it's one of those instances where we don't realize it, but we're actually giving white people too much power. But once again, we don't realize it.
Okay, explain.
Because they're not actually different for either or. Black men I think we're thinking about different people as well. So black dude only watching black porn. Maybe only doing that because he hasn't actually had any experience with, maybe he's in a community, those communities exist, majority, and he doesn't want to watch anything else. Makes sense. Same thing could be said for that white dude from Alabama who's only used to, fucking his cousin or his sister. Sorry.
Damn.
I know. That was rude.
You like, all right.
Sorry, let me say focus.
But for like 5 seconds. And then
okay, you're right. But
just tell me why I'm wrong. Yeah.
But same thing with white dude who might be in an area. Sure, we are a global society. That doesn't mean everyone's environment paints you that picture. You know what I mean? That could just be what he's used to. Doesn't have anything against, might not even be racist, doesn't have anything against other races, but what he's used to interacting with sexually and like sexually is white women. I'm you can't take that away from someone.
No. I feel like we have such a narrow definition of what racism is. Like it's like so fucking narrow. Like it's like if it's not like
I understand that, Logan, but in the terms of what we're speaking on right now, I just don't think it's fair.
Like that's like, oh, it's not on him. He just like doesn't know any better. And it's just like, listen, he lives in this world with the rest of us too. And it's like, because of that, it's like you're living in a world, especially when you live in a country that is catered towards you. You know what I mean? So it's like, as a white person, how do you just like, I don't know, maybe I'm overstepping. I don't know.
Honestly, and it is an awkward spot for me, but yeah, I think you are. Even though it's awkward, yeah, I think you are.
Because no, listen, I think you should do whatever you want, which is
the main thing. But like,
yes.
I get why you think that way though. But in that reasoning, like the fact is, people do kind of on any individual basis kind of get to like what they like within reason. Within reason, of course.
We both have white friends, right? If you
speak for yourselves.
Damn, man. He's around the white friends.
Sorry, just kidding. Continue. I forgot you were being serious. I got 2. They're cool.
She doesn't have 1. She has 2. She has 2 white friends.
I have 2. I got 2. They're cool.
Listen,
they're cool.
But no, like, okay, what some of my friends, like, I know what porn my friends watch. You know, I know like what they are into and stuff like that. Don't look at me like that, Annie. I have good friends. No. I mean, like they tell me, and like I used to be on Tumblr. Okay, Annie, let me say it like that. All right.
We all used to be on Tumblr. Before they cleaned that shit up, we were all on Tumblr.
When Tumblr was good, okay, that's where I was. Anyways, like if you had a friend, right, and like all they watched was like a particular type of porn, wouldn't that say something about them a little bit?
Are we still going on?
No. Just answer it as
in general. To me, honestly, I'd have to have the conversation because otherwise, like, if that truly is, we do all like to think, oh, we have so much diversity, we have to necessarily like embody that diversity everywhere. Some people do have little like quirk things that are weird, that are like
I want to know.
I wouldn't think you would think. I
want to know what that quirk is. That you're a white person and you only watch white people porn. Like, what is that quirk?
Maybe not a quirk, but that's where you're comfortable.
That's the thing about white people porn, though. It's like it's the default porn, so everybody watches white people porn.
In the industry, kind of,
porn though.
But you're right.
No, but her point is still accurate. Her point is still valid. Yeah,
no, go ahead. Like, I want to hear her talk.
Yeah, like when you go on any of the major sites, Pornhub, this, whatever, this and that. The pages are white people porn. If you want to see black porn, you have to go to the ebony section. If you want to see porn with these people, you have to go to that section and see it. But the default race is white. So you can't really be like, oh, this person watches white porn. Maybe this is just all the porn they've had. They never even thought about, maybe this is just a little bit of a vanilla person. No pun intended.
Yeah, no.
And they just never explored the weird quirks, because weird quirks don't really have to do with race unless they have to do with race. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel you, actually. I would have explained it like that, actually. That's kind of better. That's kind of more to my point, actually. It's not always like they're weird. Sometimes it's like they maybe doesn't have access.
What happens?
I'm like,
where it's happening.
I'm sold on Annie's like argument, but I'm not convinced. I'll say it like that. Like I'm so like I've bought it, but I'm not convinced about what it is I'm buying out of it, because I get the idea that like, this is what you are literally presented with. But then I have to think, if I'm not a white person, and then like, is that like, for example, I'm not going to ask you guys anymore. I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Let me put myself in the fire. I don't just watch fucking white people porn. Like I will watch a white people porn, but like literally like, it'll be too much for me sometimes, and I need other varieties, whether whoever it is, you know what I mean? I can't just sit there and watch like 2 white people bang each other like for 4 hours, like 5 days in a row. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I were to watch porn, like I don't really, but like if I were to watch porn every day of the week, and then every day of the week I'm just watching the same white motherfuckers like bang, like it's like I feel like there's something a little weird about that. So
that's what you're saying of,
you know what I'm saying?
That's indicative a little bit of a person's personality.
Yeah, because it's like, I think we're talking about it in like a one-off situation. And it's like, I feel like that's a very American way to talk about sex too. It's like, oh, only happens every once in a while. But it's like,
nah,
it's like, no, it's like porn is something that like, if you watch it, if you are a person who watches porn, like you do kind of regular. Yeah, it's a regular thing. So like where I'm coming from is like how someone lives their life with this being a part of their life. And so it like makes me think like even if I were to go out with a girl and like all she ever had was like white person porn, like it does make me think like, why are you hearing me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or like, what is the deal with that? Why, when you go to get off, like you can only fantasize and imagine that with like white bodies, like you can't imagine that with anyone else doing that, you know what I mean? Like, because white people usually like, even like, okay, it's the same thing as like when you have white people that have all white friend groups, you know what I mean? it's like, what is that bubble about? It's like, you know, why are you trying to emulate the cast of Friends right now? Like, what's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck happened? You know what I mean?
Do you not think anything of this?
Yeah, you don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't think anything of this. Like, you don't feel any type of way about like you just like having like this whole Aryan brunch. Like, what is going on here? You know what I mean? So like that's what that's where I'm coming from. Is that like that's a little weird? Like, I feel like you don't. I really wouldn't want somebody to be into like fetish porn. I see like there's like a slippery slope about it.
Yeah, that's.
But there is respectful people of color type porn. There's respect. Like, I watch it. I don't watch like the fetishy black porn. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I watch shit that's like, it don't have anything to do with somebody saying my big black whatever and all this and that. Like, I don't watch any of that shit because that shit doesn't appeal to me. It feels very like dehumanizing and fetishy.
It's not a reflection of your life because you're not
exactly.
a token
I don't live like that. That's not how I have sex.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have sex with somebody like that. Yeah. Like, so like that's not a reflection of me. However, it makes me feel like, what's the reflection of you when it comes to your like private time? You know what I mean? Because like that's your private time. Like that's what you get off to.
It is, and that's the other, because it is what you do in private. So I don't know, because I feel like we would be crossing lines technically, but like I will agree and say on some level, sure, we could ask the question like, what's going on there? Yeah, we could be like, what's going on there? And I know I get that, but it's like on the other level, I don't think we can force the answer. We just can speculate and hope that someone sadly.
I mean, we can only really use our own, like what we know about our own habits to form whatever answer we can form, because we're never really going to know what other people, actually enjoy watching. People are going to tell you what they want to tell you. You never know what people actually enjoy because, it's a private thing. So we can only use ourselves as our own little test dummies to figure out our theories and hypotheses and shit.
I know, but with the three of us here, it's just funny because we're just like, yo, so how many different ways did you watch a bitch getting fucked today? Like, I just seen an Asian on a Hispanic dude. I just seen a white chick with black dude. It
doesn't have to be like you have to like mix it up all the time. It's not that you can't.
I'm not saying it is.
Porn.
I'm just saying for our taste, we're not those
like
people.
Your browser is just full of this shit, and it's just like. It's never like anybody brown
like it's just
or
that narrow. Like, this is all I need.
Like, doesn't look like you or anything like that. I'm like,
this was it for me.
Something's going on here. I don't know. Something's going on.
If you say so.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Where in the world are you going to find the sexiest woman in Man Alive again?
And Mitch thinks on a porn set. That's what it is.
He's going to go.
He's looking at a Bella Danger. That's what he's doing.
He's a researcher. He is.
Maybe Naomi Banks or Natasha Nice. Just a thought.
Oh shit, that's old school porn.
Like, Naomi is old school. I know. That's still my baby.
Yo, you brought it back.
I know I brought it back. That's my baby.
Back when the porn was blurry. Like what?
No, not that far back. Not that far back.
This shit was squiggling on the TV. Like,
but anyway. So obviously we need to move on to other locales. I see what I brought to the table isn't good enough for you, even though I brought you a buffet of whatever you could possibly need. But nonetheless,
hepatitis.
You have to find one. Oh shit.
Oh my god! But where else could we go?
Sorry,
I mean,
I love you guys. I'm sorry.
Nah. They don't fuck with you no more. But don't worry, ladies. I got all y'all. No yeah. You know what? They still gonna fuck with us because I'm here and I'm gonna wear that badge for us.
I'm sex positive. I just it was just your answer is a little sus.
It didn't seem you were willing to take serious how beautiful a woman could be on a porn set. Is all I'm saying.
There's plenty of beautiful people on a porn set, but it's just like your intentions are a little sus about finding the most beautiful.
Know
like,
about my intentions.
It's a little Donald Trumpian.
We were just talking about beautiful women.
You know what I mean?
We were just talking about finding beautiful women. Is all I thought. Okay. Can't. Well, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say that, you wouldn't find them on the set. I'm just saying, if we go to the set, we might find a few that are pretty beautiful, I think, for our list is all I'm saying.
I love how
Trump?
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's not like I do that impression a lot.
I love how Mitch's Donald Trump is Woody Allen. Like that.
I know. I was just thinking, like, who is he trying to be right now? Oh, shit. That's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
How did Mitch end up being two evil dudes,
Creeps.
like two vile men in the same body? Like just like
Don't y'all put that evil on me.
Put that shit on yourself.
Shut up. Don't you? Anyway,
what a discussion this has been. Like this is
damn. Where would we go? I know it's hard. Yeah. It's kind of hard. That's why honestly those magazines that do that are kind of like full of shit, because it's like when you think about it, I hope and pray someone's doing the work to like go to different places and like
they don't
find different looks.
They don't.
I don't think
but
People
yeah,
magazine is searching through the jungles of
so that's why
Brazil
they're full
or
of
Ethiopia
shit.
to find them.
Well, they should be.
But
like we're out here settling to find the world's most attractive man and woman.
I don't know why would she just said about the jungles of Brazil. Oh, that's why. But like it just like jogged my memory. I was like, did they just kill off T'Challa in the new Black Panther movie?
Logan, you want to do that?
I saw the commercial. Like I'm about to wrap up the show.
Trailer,
I swear to God. But like,
what other choice would they have?
They literally just. What do you mean? What the fuck? This is what. Oh my God, I hate this because like why?
Wait, why?
We can have like 1,000 Batmans and 1,000 Supermans.
No. Like, you're misreading, and but in order for them to bring T'Challa back. To me, because I read the comics.
Right.
In order for them to bring T'Challa back, he was going to have to die first anyway.
Why?
Because, like, in this instance...
Why couldn't they just recast him?
I hope, do recast him, and because this actually happened in the story. Like,
he said died, they're not going to recast
Shuri took
him.
Over. No, who said that?
Kevin Feige.
I did hear that.
Oh, right, no, Kevin did. I don't believe him.
He said,
but also he said he's not going to. Black Panther could live on way past him showrunning, dude. I hope he's lying because it's a really bad mistake.
It's like they can recast Terrence Howard out of Iron Man, but they can't recast T'Challa.
Straight up, real easy. Didn't even mention it. Really,
didn't even think about that.
Cheetah was just there chilling, not even single questions. But honestly, I hope he's lying. Honestly. I think I hope it's a tactic so that when they do bring T'Challa back, everybody's like, oh, fuck. He said he won't go bring T'Challa back. But for the record, in the beginning, everybody was clamoring for T'Challa not to be recast. I never agreed. I was being respectful of it. Be like, all right, if that's how you feel, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to be that guy in this moment.
I know, right?
But like, I was like, it's Black Panther. Like, it only makes sense to recast. Like,
5 white guys can get a job playing
black superhero,
but no more than one black man.
I think I want to talk about that next episode because like I'm getting tired of superhero movies, like for like reasons like that. Like I'm getting a little tired of them. And I don't know.
I have
spit your piece. I'll be here.
Burnout.
I'll be here.
I'm having superhero burnout between the shows and like the movies. I'm like, what? I don't want. This is a full-time job. I don't need this.
Well, okay,
like this used to be fun. It's not fun anymore.
Like that's the original storytelling.
These movies used to come out. No, these movies used to come out every 3 years. Now they come out every month. Like I'm just like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
like I only have so much money. You
know what the real issue is, though? It's not that. It's not that the quantity is so much. It's that the quality just isn't there either. No one cares about stuff being there around, but it's like, is it good?
But that's
the so good I can.
But that's the difference. Not. They used to have a lot of time to work on this shit, and it's like it used to be like a gourmet burger. Now I'm just eating McDonald's every day. Like it's just like,
and it's like I can eat it. It's going obviously.
It's food, I guess.
Like I guess you know what I'm saying. But like, where's the heart?
Yeah, none.
Where's the heart to this?
They just churning this shit out. It's like, all right.
It's because it became the superhero. It went from being.
No.
It went from being like, yo. Oh yeah, we saw it.
You saw Nope?
Yeah, we did.
Both of y'all saw Nope?
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up for next week's topic because we saw it. Yeah. My topic.
We should have brought it for this week because it just came out this past weekend. Next week it'll be.
I know. That's why we save it to not spoil. We don't do it like the time it comes out. We wait and then we'll do a little.
That's their fault.
Keke Palmer does that slide on the motorcycle from Akira. She does the Akira slide, and I did make a GIF from the movie trailer, and I posted it on Twitter. I posted it on the Twitter. Yeah.
You just said, oh, you made a what?
A GIF.
Yeah, he said
That's
that.
how you fucking say it.
A peanut butter a GIF?
Yeah, he said that. He said GIF. Yeah,
how do you spell giraffe? Thank you.
Wow,
that's
really
what. That's. I rest my case.
It's how do you spell giraffe?
Okay,
but how do you spell gift, Logan? How do you spell gift?
The same way you spell giraffe.
You had me for a second. I was like, how do you spell giraffe?
No, no, you just don't slide off with that. Fucking no.
For some reason, I was like, it's a J because it's the shape of the neck.
No, he's we spell giraffe that way, but we don't pronounce gift that way, do we? You son of a bitch. But I didn't want to do this right now, Annie.
Literally,
Please continue with your point.
The inventor of the GIF said it's pronounced GIF.
We don't give a fuck what that nigga said.
Damn.
He's probably an architect who made that list.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yo, rest in peace. But you know damn well that's not how that's supposed to sound. You know damn well that's not how that's supposed to sound.
There's a whole generation of people who did not go to phonics class, and it shows. Like it's a whole.
Actually, I did.
That's right over second grade. Did not.
I'm just saying.
We're not hooked on phonics at all.
I pronounce give the way it's pronounced. I say gift the way it's pronounced. Just because I say giraffe the way it's pronounced does not all of a sudden mean that g isn't a thing.
Fun fact.
Is a thing. What?
Yes.
Any?
Fun fact. When I was in the 8th grade, me and my friend would say, I got hooked on phonics last night. And that was a euphemism for, I found a way to watch some porn.
Oh my God.
Wow. Way to come full circle, Annie.
Annie
way to come full circle.
So much for us to not point out how she's a Scorpio. And yet,
oh my God.
She just does nothing but Scorpio shit on the show. It's I can't help it. Anyways, let's get out of here. Mitch. Wait, no.
Stabbed.
Yeah, Mitch. Mitch, do you have anything you want to leave the people with?
Shit, I wasn't. Basically, for the most part, let's do a quick, weekend review. Dominance and submission aren't in fixed places is the only way that I can really say that to have it make some sort of sense to you. They don't have to exist in fixed places, nor should they be assigned
just say you're
to a
switch and
margin.
go. Just say
it doesn't make any sense.
Now.
It's
just
not binary, if that's what you mean.
Yeah,
people's sexuality.
They don't have to be in
binary.
fixed places. That makes sense. Okay.
It's
anyway. All right. Anyway, yeah, those are. Anyway, I'm not gonna do this with y'all because y'all are just so good at doing this to me. But I'm not gonna do this with y'all. But other than that, yeah, I think just, be yourself, have a good time. It's okay to have shy arguments. It is okay. It's a form of relief. You're only human. You got to release, man. Get that shit out. Or just be better in the actual argument. Plebeian.
I don't think anyone felt bad about having shower
I feel attacked.
Keep it in the bath, man.
But other than that, that's all I really have to say. Yeah, have a good day. For now, that's all I remember because I'm a little off today. I said this coming in. I did say I was a little off.
I almost expected you to be like, and if you're white and you like white people porn, it's okay. It's just like just to round it off, but all right.
I was hoping I don't have to say that, but yeah.
Oh, you avoided that one. Okay.
No, I didn't. What? No.
Okay, then I don't know your intentions. Anyways, Annie, what would you like to leave the people with today?
Watch some new porn that you haven't seen before. Try something new.
Yes.
Branch out a little bit. Yeah.
See, Annie picked it up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Watch some new porn.
Find some sexy people out in the world.
It is. No, it's actually really good to find new porn because it's like you might just find something out about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might just be like, I didn't know I was into this, but I am now.
People change all the time.
And then when the video's over, you could be like, I'm disgusting. Like,
you can deal with that shame. Yeah, go ahead. You'll figure it out.
Wipe yourself off.
Like, what the fuck?
It'll wash away.
When you finish before the video's over, it's just like, get this shit out of here. Like, what is this?
Just like closing all the tabs. Like, oh God.
Like all the shame is on the screen. It's just like, ugh.
Ew. You leave on the screen.
I'm sorry, Jesus.
Clean your screens, everybody.
I'm sorry, Jesus.
Like, I was not raised like this. Like, what is?
I didn't mean it 6 ounce. 6 ounce white, Jesus. I swear. I didn't know that black woman's thing was going badanka dang the way it did. Please, 6 ounce, baby. Why Jesus? Just forgive me of my sins.
That sounds like from the Righteous Gemstones. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What do I have to say to y'all?
Yeah, what are you gonna leave the people with?
I said 6 ounce instead of 16.
You did. I don't know. What the hell? Yo, no, I'm about to go at the end of this. I'm about to go watch Fuckboy Island with my girlfriend. So like that's what I'm about to do. So like, I just want everybody to have a great weekend. I want you all to have a great week. Basically, I keep forgetting that this show comes out like at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, what? What? Well, you can have a great weekend anyways when you listen to it at the end of the week. Like shit, just listen to this episode again.
Or
and you get the benefit. Yeah.
So you might need the week.
Yeah, exactly. and it got me.
Got you. By the time they get to this part, it's Friday already. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I know how you guys listen to the show, and it's not all at once. Like it's just like
who has 2 whole hours in the day? But those would be 2 solid
I'd be trying
hours.
to make it shorter. Like the last episode was 2 hours for no reason, but like I'd be trying to cut out topics and stuff. Like
exactly, yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys are like okay with me just like cutting shit out too. Like we're like, it's gotta go.
I encourage it.
You encourage it?
Yeah. I ain't mad in the first place. Do what you gotta do.
That's great. That's always good.
Cut the fat.
Not having people be like, hey, what about that thing I said about the
I had an entire soliloquy dedicated.
Didn't make it, man.
Didn't make it.
I wish it was better.
You cut out any more dialogue.
Next time be better.
Next time be better, yeah.
Dude.
I don't know. You guys are great. I love making content with you guys. If you like the show,
he's really talking to you, Annie. I've been here a while. Like that was a moment for you, just so you're aware.
No, I like
he don't talk to me like that.
I like making stuff. Mitch, I tell you.
I know, nigga. Yes, I know you love making content with me. Yes, I know.
He needs so much attention.
God
like,
damn.
for real.
Okay, yeah. I heard y'all. Finish the show.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard y'all. I know. I heard the complaint.
You know, Mitch needs so much attention. Sometimes I think like he should have been a Leo when he was born. Like it's
my God.
Really weird.
I've asked him so many times. Like, Mitch, you're a Leo, right?
Yeah, right.
No, I'm a Cancer. And I'm like, really? I always think he's a Leo. It's crazy.
He really leans in. Like it's just like
we'll talk about this after the show. Anyway, please hurry up. Thank you. We need to move on. Thank you.
As always, if you like the show, please share the show. Like Jeb Bush said, please clap. Just like please share the show. That was so pathetic.
I'm like, I didn't mean to say it like that, but I was like, ew. You have to ask people to clap for you? I wouldn't have any idea.
The way he threw his arms down too, I was like, you ain't never gonna win. Like you just watch with somebody. You ever watch somebody lose like in real time? Like just like wow, nobody likes this.
Oh my God.
You hate to see it. You like the show, share the show. Share it with your friends, share it with your mom, share it with your dog, your cat, whatever.
They talk.
And if you having just a time that you hate the show, share it with your enemies. I like that. Just like annoy the piss with them with this show. Just spam it to them. Just like, hey, I hate this shit. Now you have to hate it too. Listen, have a good day. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Have a good whatever you're doing. Have a good breakfast or lunch, dinner, whatever you're doing while you listen to the show. Just have a good one. Say bye to the people, Annie.
See ya.
Say bye to the people, Mitch.
Bye.
This is episode 60. This is episode 60, guys.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Of the Milk and Toast podcast.
We made it to 60.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I've been your host, Logan, and we're out. Bye.
Bye.